Episode 16. Put me on my fucking meds. Welcome to episode 16 of WHOIZ Music, where I am in the worst mood possible. Because I lost an AirPod. Except I didn't lose it. I know exactly where it is. I just can't get it. It's in my mom's car, like the place where you shift the car from park, reverse, drive. They call that the gear shifter, buddy. Like when you move it in my mom's car, there's like an opening, and somehow when she put it in drive, the AirPod fell out right into the opening, and the opening is only there when it's in drive. So if it's in park, you can't get it. So I had my mom put it in drive, and I was trying to get it, except I pushed it further back there. So the only real way that I can get it is to take the whole thing apart. And if you know anything about me, you know I don't know a damn thing about cars except Lightning and McQueen. That's all I fucking know. I think it's so cool to see people like their creations that they use with the song on TikTok mainly. It doesn't get many people, don't use it on Instagram Reels or Shorts, but on TikTok it's gotten a lot of people who like make some type of Cars theme and have that song playing while they show what they made, like clothing, cakes, accessories, just different types of crazy shit. The most recent one, this bitch made a crazy cake. I'm talking about like a 3-layer cake, Cars theme. I was like, damn, that is a huge fucking cake. My song is playing on top of your cake. Sounds tasty. When I made that song, I know there's one thing that I would change with the whole thing about it. The fucking cover art. If you don't know what it is, it's pretty much a Polish piggy bank. But on it says, like, in Polish, it translates to roughly saving for marriage. The backstory with it was she gave it to me as a present, like after my 9 months was up from studying over there. She gave me that and like a card that her sister had put like a bunch of English and Polish words on and drew some pictures on, and like a postcard. So she gave it to me as a present that I still have, just because it's probably one of the most thoughtful presents and meaningful presents that I ever received from someone. So just wanted to keep it. And I put it on there just to kind of show her that the song was about her. Yeah, you're stupid for doing that too, nigga. Nah, your mama's stupid. Putting some Polish shit on the Cars thing. Man, nobody give no fuck about cars, man. I do. In Polish? You know, in Polish, they call cars auto. Auto. Yeah. Auto. I told you. Automatic. Autonomous. Autograph. Here, I'm going to take my handwriting and I'm going to autograph your car, baby. We're going to wash it off later, but I just want to see if this Sharpie works on your car and see if it will move it if we go to the car wash. So who do I make it out to, babe? Okay, I'll make it out to babe. Going to the car wash as a little kid was like one of the most scary things, because seriously, the car wash was like a literal monster. I thought it was going to swallow the whole car for real. The older you get though, you don't like going to like the car wash where it automatically does it for you. You like taking time out and washing it yourself, getting that little hose out, filling up a bucket with soap and water, spraying it down. And if you're like early teens, it's always fun spraying them niggas when they ask you to wash the car, because, you know, one of them is scrubbing it and the other one has the shit where they washing it off. One of the funniest things that I can remember that me and my grandpa did was I was coming back from the store and I had just got back and he was washing one of the cars and he had this hose out. And when I got out the car, he literally sprayed me unexpectedly. And I was like wearing nice ass shit too. So I was super hurt. So what I did was I went inside and filled up a bucket of cold water and tossed it on this dude. His face was like in shock when the fucking water hit him. He realized after that no matter what he does, there will always be retaliation. That's how I work. One of the prettiest scenes is like when the ground is covered in snow, just like the whole area is covered in snow. But one of the ugliest scenes is when that shit starts melting. When it's like halfway melted, halfway snow. That's the current theme of our area right now. Half melted snow. I don't watch the TV for the announcements on the schools now since, I mean, it doesn't pertain to me. But I just know that, like, I seen tons of people posting on Facebook because they have kids and shit. And these niggas missed like a week of school. And there really wasn't shit on the ground for real. Schools just be looking for a reason to cancel. It's always best when you know the next day if school is canceled, like the night before. It sucks when you wake up and you have to wait and see what they're going to do. If it's a 2 hour delay or if school is canceled. If they cancel it the day before, you already know, fuck yeah, I'm staying up the whole night and I'm on the fucking game. In my area, we had 1 hour delays, 2 hour delays, and closings. Employee code 0, employee code 2. I don't know what the codes mean, but I imagine it's just if the faculty need to come or not, and what level of faculty, principals, counselors, teachers, custodians. I really want to smack a motherfucker for giving a nigga a 1 hour delay. What is 1 hour gonna do, nigga? For real. Besides, make me miss first period. Normally English class. Something I'm good at. Immaculate at English and spelling, so I'm out there showcasing my skills. That's when I really should have realized that I probably have some potential in terms of writing, creative writing. It was the 11th grade, and my English teacher, she like handed out this flyer for a contest. It was like a poem contest, but it was from like everybody in the county. So you would write a poem and the judges would judge it and whatnot, but from like all the schools in the county. And I did it. I don't know how many people from our class even did it, but I did it. And I ended up placing third in the whole county. I mean, it's not really saying much considering it's Montgomery County, but still to place third in a poetry writing contest when, you know, I ain't have no feedback or anything. I was just like, man, I just want to write some crazy shit. I don't even know what the poem was about. I don't have it or anything, but I do know that I was very secretive about submitting that poem. I didn't want none of my niggas to know that I just wrote a poem. Placed third, got a $50 Amazon gift card. Spent that shit the same day. Because you know what a real nigga does when he gets a prepaid gift card to Amazon or somewhere else? He buys a prepaid debit card. Get some real money, nigga. Use this shit wherever I want to. After prom senior year is at the bowling alley, and you know they're giving out gifts and prizes and shit. New cars, Rolex watches. Nah, they ain't giving no Rolexes out, but you know, just real cool shit. Almost had everybody transferring to schools in Montgomery County, trying to get them a Rolex just for going to after prom. Parents would have been asking you about the after prom. Did you get that Rolex? Nah, mom, I didn't get the Rolex. Susie got it this year. And guess what a nigga like me ended up drawing? A drill. A fucking drill. A Black & Decker drill from Lowe's. Man, what am I supposed to do with this? Do you seriously think I know anything about drills? The only thing I know about drills is to take them back. So that's what I did. I went back to Lowe's, took the drill back. But you know what they do? They give you a gift card. They don't give you cash. So now I have a $50 gift card to Lowe's, and I don't know anything about home improvement. So what do? I'm on Facebook Marketplace. I have a $50 Lowe's gift card. I'm selling it for $25. After prom was the first time I ever got drunk for real. Well, not after prom, after prom. I didn't even go to prom. I just went to the after party. I wasn't dating any girl at the time, and I didn't want to go to fucking prom by myself, fucking dancing around all night by my damn self. So I was at home, waiting for one of my niggas to text me and be like, yeah, prom's over. We about to go to the bowling alley. You can pull up now. Just to hang out with people, have some fun, bowl some strikes. Nah, I am. The after prom party, it was essentially a bonfire, but it was at these girls' house who like, it's like 4 girls. They're all sisters, and they had one little brother at the time. But like these girls are close with their dad, and they let them be drinking and shit. So had a huge party. Probably like 40, 50 people went there. Man, it was fucking lit. That was when Fireball was the hot commodity. Man, I probably drank a whole bottle of Fireball that night, honestly. But high school parties don't compare to college parties. Because high school parties, you don't know, they rarely ever happen. It's only on a special occasion. Normally when someone's parents went out of town and someone else's older sister, cousin, or brother agreed to buy alcohol for them for exchange for $15. Willing to risk it all for fucking $15. Crazy bitches. My prices was $25 per bottle. In college, man, that shit is happening every fucking day. Every fucking day. Just gotta know the right people. I'm one of the select few who actually got lucky on the first night of college. Got laid first night of college, man. I was like, man, it don't get better than this. I'm gonna be in college forever. The girl was in my dormitory too, at ODU. Whitehurst Hall, baby. Whitehurst Hall was widely considered one of the best dormitories, not because of its amenities or the levels of ratchetness that went on in that dormitory, but where was that? It was the only dorm on the water. And from what I know, like got to know from all the people staying in other dorms there, it was probably the most social for real. I remember the first like couple of days. This probably happens at other universities too, but those first couple of days were the best because everybody's got their fucking door open. So you just walking down the hall and people will see you and like stop and have a conversation with you, or you go into their room, have a conversation with them. And man, niggas like me, we're going on fucking every floor, just taking the elevator up, going to a different floor, seeing who got their door open just to go and talk to some niggas today. But since this dorm was on the water, it had a good ass smoking spot. Well, multiple smoking spots, or just in general chill. But this girl stayed in my dormitory. There was a party like at some Greek houses on the campus, and what's crazy about that party at the Greek house was like my senior year during spring break, it aligned with ODU spring break. And I went on a cruise with one of my friends' families. And on the cruise, there was like 3 people from ODU. And like we were in the hot tub and they were talking about like where they were from and whatnot. And I was like, bro, what? Y'all go to ODU? I'm about to go there next year. And and they pretty much like took me under their wing for the whole cruise and shit. So I was like hanging with these college dudes on the cruise ship. And I remember specifically like these guys were like pretty big gym people. So we were in the gym on the cruise and they like ran a mile and were doing some like crazy weight shit. And I remember like I literally almost passed out because I had never ran a mile like so fast because I was just trying to impress these people and like make it seem like I was like super cool and shit, you know? And like, I remember I got back to the freaking my room after I worked out with them for the first time and I literally threw up all over the place because I was so exhausted. I was like, bro, I cannot do this. Their whole motto was a mile under 7 minutes. And first of all, I never ran miles for fun. Only time I ran miles was during track. And niggas wasn't really getting time for real. We was just keeping pace with other people. Because I wasn't really a long distance runner. But on this fucking cruise ship, when they're sitting there saying, gotta get your mile under 7 minutes, under 7 minutes. I'm sitting there running beside one of the dudes and he reaches over and increases the speed on my fucking treadmill. I'm like, nigga, what am I supposed to do now, man? I'm not gonna fucking decrease the speed because now I'm a bitch if I do that. So I'm practically sprinting on the damn treadmill. Because remind you, I'm still not at my peak shape. Like I was still kind of fat at this time, but best believe I got that mile under 7 minutes. Had to impress them niggas. But at this Greek party on the first night, I met one of the people who I like ran into on the cruise. And when I met this dude, he was like literally almost passed out in a fucking chair. And I went up to him and he like didn't know who I was. And then like I told him like, yeah, I met you on the cruise this past year. And he got up and he was like super hype and shit. It was so funny. And at this party, the girl who stayed in my dormitory, she was there too. And I guess she like seen me talking to this guy and some of his other friends there. And they pretty much, and she pretty much thought that like I was cooler than what I was, or I knew more people than what I did. But in reality, like that was the only dude I knew at the party, besides like the three people I went with. So me and this girl hit it off. Her name was Katie. Yep, she's a white girl. Got the flirting. And man, this bitch was like 6'1" for real. I'm 5'10". So, I had to act crazy. So ended up bagging this 6'1" bitch, blasted her down in my dormitory. First night. In my room. Not hers, in my room. I told my roommate come back later. Yes, sir. I was the man in charge. Nah, I really wasn't though, for real. My roommate was literally the plug. Like, I can't even begin to explain. Like, this nigga was really, really trapping at ODU. And in the dormitory too. Like, I'm telling you, he would bring back ounces. And one day we have like hall meeting where everyone on your hall is like the RA is there and everyone like talks about what's going on, whatever. And this nigga shows up late. And bro, you can smell the fucking weed on him. You don't know if he has it on him or if he had just smoked, but afterwards he had took it out when we were in the dorm and he literally had the weed on him. He had like 2 ounces on him. Fucking freshman, bro. And if that's your roommate, you chiefing a lot. And out of all the years of university, there was one specific time that literally like I thought it was over for myself. It was the scariest moment because we were smoking in the room. What we did was we were in the bathroom and we had the shower and we got like hot water going and we would like smoke in the bathroom where it's like steamy and stuff. Normally we were just smoking bong rips in the shower doing that, and we would have like a toilet paper roll, an empty toilet paper roll, and tie a fabric softener on one end and blow smoke into it. So like the smoke is getting filtered through the fabric softener so it doesn't like smell like weed and stuff in the shower to pretty much keep it as minimal as possible. But on this day, we were smoking 2 blunts because I had my other good friend with me and he's a big trapper too. So they was like putting weed together and shit. And, I'm just there chiefing with them all, getting all that shit for free. I'm like, man, I ain't passing this shit up in the fucking bathroom. And all of a sudden, the smoke alarm goes off. So literally, the smoke alarm goes off while we're in the shower, and everyone in the building has to evacuate. And as soon as that shit happens, dude, we all haul ass out of there. And we did it right before class. But the shitty part about the whole thing for me really was, first of all, I thought I was about to get kicked out, but nothing ever even happened. Like they didn't ask who it was or anything. But this day, I had a math test, and this math test, the teacher, you could do problems beforehand, and you would get extra credit towards your overall grade. And I had done tons of problems before to get extra credit, but since I've left out of the building in a hurry, I left the extra credit in my room. So I went to the test without the extra credit and high as shit, worried, not knowing what was about to happen. So I practically forgot math for an hour. And you can imagine me in the classroom preparing to pull this extra credit out of my book bag because the teacher collected it before the test, right? So beforehand, I already know that I'm not about to do very good on this test because I'm so high and so worried and shit. But mentally, I'm like, well, at least I still got this fucking extra credit to boost some points up for me. So I'm looking at my book bag and I'm like, man, fuck. I just slammed my head down on the fucking table. But since my roommate is the plug, he always got pockets full of money on him. So what we would do is we would play Madden for money, like literally hundreds of dollars. He would be like, all right, I'm gonna bet you $100 on Madden. And I'm a fucking real gamer, so I'm beating the fuck out of this dude. And he's like double or nothing. I'm like, all right, do it again, beat him again. And then I know like I probably throughout the whole semester, I probably got close to $1,000 off this dude just by beating him on Madden. But I remember like this was the time the Jordan Ferrari 14s came out. And I used the money that I beat him and Madden to buy these shoes. And I brought them the next day. And I was like, yeah, thank you for buying these Ferraris for me. I was wearing them around the room. I was like, yeah, my roommate just bought these shoes for me. When you're at a place on the coast like that, it has like heavy rainfall sometimes. So I know when it was like monsooning out, they would have this siren that literally resembled something from the Hunger Games. Like, the shit was like to alert people, like, yeah, it's fucking raining out. Like, no shit, bro. It's fucking really raining out here. I heard the siren and I was like, do we need to go somewhere? Because the way that they had it played, it made it seem like even the dormitory wasn't safe. So I was like, maybe there's a special place for us to go. There wasn't. It was just an alert. University alerts. That really changed thanks to our area, for real. The tragedy that happened at Virginia Tech in 2007, that changed how universities relay messages to parents, students, faculty, everybody. Because what happened then showed that the messaging system wasn't where it needed to be, because there was really delayed responses on telling students, don't come to campus, it's not safe. Delayed responses and withholding of information. Because what happened first was there was a shooting at a dormitory, right? And this happened early in the morning at like 7:15 or so. But what police and people of the university had thought was this was just an isolated incident and the person had fled campus. So when that happened, they didn't issue alerts to everybody else saying, don't come to school, there was a shooter or nothing. So a lot of people were in the dark and didn't even really know that it had happened. And then 2 hours later, that's when they issue an alert at 9:30 saying like, yeah, there was a shooting and whatever. But then the second shooting, which was the bigger one where it happened inside of a classroom, happened like 14 minutes after that why message went out to everyone. So if they would have just sent the message sooner and pretty much said, don't come to class today, then a lot of the tragedy could have been prevented. And at this time, I'm in elementary school, either the fifth or fourth grade. I think the fifth grade. But for an elementary school and this to happen in the same county as a school that's 20 minutes away, they're taking a lot of caution because you don't know how deranged this person is and if they would target other places in the area. So what they did is they pretty much canceled school the rest of the day, pretty much had an emergency like, yeah, school's getting out early today, everybody go home. And as a kid, you're just excited, oh man, we get to go home and do whatever we want, not really realizing the magnitude of what had just happened, especially considering like the student teachers that we have at our school, they all come from tech. And the teachers aren't telling you that there was a shooting. They're just saying there was an accident and we're getting out early today. But these teachers, they're really bawling, not even able to teach class for the day. So that was probably the most important moment locally in our area that had a real tragedy. And I think that a lot of people would probably enjoy hearing from someone who wasn't at the university at the time, but was a local to the area. So that's why I felt like I should talk about it on here. And it's coming up on the 19th year anniversary since it happened, April 16th. So a lot of people in the area really care about it, me included, obviously. So shout out Tech. We got a new football coach too, so things are looking up for us. James Franklin, a decent head coach, great at recruiting. But if you're going to be a head coach in Virginia, specifically at Virginia Tech, you've got to secure the recruits from the 757, Norfolk, Hampton, Bob Beach. You got to get them. You can't let them go to Florida State, fucking Miami. Bring them to Tech. Make them boosters pay up. I don't know anything about the financials of recruiting in college sports, college football specifically, but what I hope is in place, and if it's not, it probably should be, is that if a recruit is from a state, universities in that state should be able to offer that recruit more money than out of state universities. You can kind of think of it at like in-state tuition versus out-of-state tuition. In-state tuition is cheaper than out of states, and in terms of recruits, you should be able to make more money in state than out of state to keep local talent here. So if we have a quarterback from the 757 or somewhere else in Virginia who is getting offered like 1 million to go play at like a school outside of Virginia, maybe like West Virginia or Texas Tech or somewhere, well, UVA or Virginia Tech, they should be able to offer that quarterback like 1.2 million or 1.5 million opposed to 1 million. The only real con that a potential recruit could say is that it wouldn't prepare you as much playing for Virginia Tech or UVA opposed to Miami or Ohio State or someone. But I mean, it's still a D1 school. You'll be playing D1 teams, and if you're good, you'll be noticed. Especially if y'all are 7.5-point underdogs and you win outright. Because one of y'all got a pick six late in the game. That's how you get noticed, right? Covering spreads. Winning on the money line. That's how you get noticed. Yes, sir. We really have a rabid fan base, even though our team has never been relatively good. We were only good 1 year, and that was thanks to Michael Vick. And I wasn't even like really old enough to enjoy the experience of having fucking Michael Vick at Virginia Tech. Took him to a national championship game. That's pretty much the equivalent of like Indiana football winning a national championship. Something that will never happen. Wait. That shit did happen. Can't believe it. I think Michael Vick is probably one of the biggest redemption stories ever for an African American athlete, musician, entrepreneur, anyone. From being the number one overall pick to having a lot of success and then having to spend 21 months in fucking prison to coming back into the NFL and playing at a high level, man, that is so impressive. I remember watching the first game he got to start when he played for the Eagles and they played the Redskins. It was on Monday Night Football. And, you know, my whole family likes the Redskins. And, I mean, I support them, but I didn't at the time. I was just really big fan of players. And, I mean, love Michael Vick. So this game was, like, so great. Especially considering, like, on the very first play, he throws a 90-some yard touchdown to Deshaun Jackson. And man, when I tell you, like, my house was shaking because I was so fucking hyped for that play. He ended up putting up, like, 6 touchdowns. He fucking dominated. It was one of the greatest games ever that I can recall, like, watching live. And this year's Super Bowl probably would not have even cracked my top 100 games that I watched. It was fucking terrible. The event, the halftime, couldn't understand it. Bad Bunny makes good music, but man, I want to understand what the nigga's saying. Tried to throw up captions on my screen, man. They started putting it in Spanish too. I said, man, I'm done. And when you have like an event as big as the Super Bowl that had close to $3 billion wagered on it, but everybody knows the outcome, you have to think, how are they going to fuck the most people? And obviously it was through touchdowns, because people who are putting together parlays, they're not putting together parlays without a touchdown score most of the time. I would say probably 7 to 10 people who made a parlay for the game probably had a certain touchdown score in the parlay. I mean, I obviously know football, and what I did, my bet for the game was Seattle win by at least 2.5, under 39.5, and Stephon Diggs to have 40 yards receiving. I don't know how the game ended up going over 39.5, but it somehow fucking did. Stephon Diggs still didn't get 40 yards, but he got 37. That was my parlay for the game, though. My rationale was that Seattle will be leading, and late in the game, the Patriots are going to be passing the ball a lot. So still came out in profit, though. Put a little 50 ball in the under 45.5. I remember the Super Bowl that I ended up winning the most money. There was really two for real. It was the Tampa Bay and Kansas City Chiefs one. I was on Tampa Bay so hard. I just knew that their offensive line could not stop the Tampa Bay defensive line. But the real one that I made the most on was the Rams versus the Bengals. Mainly because I made a stupid ass bet and shit ended up hitting. I'm going to bet who's going to catch the first pass of the game. Do any of y'all remember who caught the first pass in Super Bowl 56 between the Rams and the Bengals? No, you don't. But I do. It was Cam Akers, the running back for the Rams. Matthew Stafford did my man a solid. Gave him a 7-yard check down to start the game. You couldn't have found someone more hyped to see a 7-yard completion. Promise. Had like a $50 free bet to win $500. Put it on that. Something stupid. So I could say, is it going to be a good Super Bowl for myself, or is it going to be a bad one from the jump? Turned out to be a good one. I decided to get shit-faced. Man, let me tell you the odds on this crazy parlay that I put together on DraftKings Sportsbook. Because when this parlay hits, I'm about to be fucking rich, man. This parlay was crazy. Let me tell you, I got the Cincinnati Reds from Ohio to win the MLB championship. That's the first leg of it, baby. The second leg, I got the Calgary Flames from Canada to win the NHL Stanley Cup. I got the Calgary Flames. And then the final last leg of this parlay, 3 teams now. I got the USA of America to win the World Cup in 2026 on our homeland. Man, when this parlay hits, I'm about to be rich because, brother, it is only 10 cents to win $180,000. Yeah, the Calgary Flames were just eliminated from playoff contention. Man, I knew the Calgary Flames was going to fuck up my damn parlay. The shit that you can bet on now is getting outrageous. Kalshi? Man, there's not anything you can't bet on. So it should be everybody's goal to somehow, some way, end up on Kalshi so you can bet on yourself to something where you know the outcome. Fucking words somebody is going to say in a speech. They need to add a bet to see how many times Who Is He is going to say the word nigga in his podcast. Take the over, nigga. I'm going to make sure we hit the over, nigga. Yes, sir, nigga. I mean, you can bet on who's going to be the halftime performer for the next Super Bowl. The current favorites are somebody named Chappelle Roan. I don't even know who that is. The next favorite is Miley Cyrus. It's definitely not going to be Miley. It cannot be Miley. In reality, I think there's only 2 people who they should even be considering for this Super Bowl. Drake and Taylor Swift. And honestly, I don't know why Drake has not got it yet. I mean, just a couple of years ago, we had fucking Usher. Man, Usher was like 15 years ago. Drake is still fucking hot. Drake is still the biggest person in the industry. Male. Female is obviously Taylor Swift. Hey, have you heard my song Slumber Party? $5 on Taylor right now wins you $24. I have a song with Taylor Swift. It's called, if you think Taylor's gonna get it, I'd go ahead and get your bets in. It's called Slumber Party. While the odds are still high, I'm in it too, so don't worry, I'm in it. But I don't think she's gonna do it until Travis retires. Well, if you do it, Taylor, it'd be cool if you did my song at the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm not gonna, you have tons of songs that you could perform, but to hear my song Slumber Party, ordering pizza at the Super Bowl, oh my gosh, I would just have a huge fret. I also have a Drake song. It's called Gami. I mean, that would actually be kind of a great song to play at the Super Bowl because it is a sports song now that I'm thinking about it. And you know what the NFL has when you have a unique score? They have a score-gami. So Gami, score-gami. I think it would be cool to probably see this song at the NFL. But I don't know. It's up to Drake if he wants to do it or not. So I'll let him decide. Taylor will be the one who generates the most views because, I mean, she's going to attract a younger audience of females who don't know football, but just want to see her. Because the Super Bowl event is primarily a male event. I'd like to get the demographics on how many male to female viewers there is for the event. So Taylor would have the highest views of the whole thing, but what would generate the most buzz leading up to it and after would by far be Drake. They missed out on a great opportunity to have him this year. But I just have a feeling that next year's Super Bowl, the event, is going to be great. The event and the halftime show. Because the NFL is so competitive now that it's just going to make for a great event. My early Super Bowl picks, who I think is going to be in the matchup. I'm one of them delusional Baltimore Ravens fans who just want to see Lamar get a championship. So I got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Dallas Cowboys. Having the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, man, that will blow anything out of the fucking water. I think one of the most interesting things across professional sports when it comes to winning a championship just is how finite it is. Like, you have 1 in 30 or 1 in 32 chances to win. So you could say in 32 years, if a new team won every year for 32 years, every team would have a championship. But I'm willing to say that even if you disperse that across basketball, NFL, MLB, average of 30 teams per league, 90 years, I'm willing to say that across 90 years, not every team across those leagues will have won a championship. I mean, think about it. Do you think in 90 years, every professional team will have won a championship from now on? I think no. So what I think should happen is, I kind of talked about this in a past podcast about how trying to get different people to own professional sports teams. But what I think should probably happen is that owners, they should have however many teams there are in that league, years to win a championship. And if they don't win the championship in that many years, they're forced to sell the team. They can't pass it down to generations or whatever. So if there's 32 teams in the league, then you have 32 years to win a championship. And if you don't win one within that period, you have to sell your team. Because you're going to have some teams win 3 or 4, and others win 2 or 3. So from that standpoint, success is very centralized. It only comes from a few teams. And that's really why it's taken a while for me to even start making this podcast, just because have felt so down, honestly. It's been some of the darkest days personally, because if you don't know, I mean, I tried to release a crypto coin. And for me, I thought that it was really the last thing that I needed. I thought that after I did it, the success that I should have gotten, I will have gotten. But I did nothing. Nothing happened. I tried to raise 10 Ethereum for a pre-sale, and I raised $15. It was my own $15. And, you know, I looked at it as like sort of an embarrassment. that nobody would invest in me. And it really put me down because it is the hardest thing that I've ever worked on in my life. Like you can see, if you go to my GitHub, you can see for a whole month, I was making tons of commits, trying to get this as best as it could be. And because that happened, I just felt so deflated. Like no matter what I do, I'm destined to not succeed because I'm the first person to do this. And the first person is always the worst person to do something. They always get the short end of the stick. And what society is trying to force upon me is they're trying to make me amass my own following. And that's not where I'm going to be the most useful to people. It's by being just another internet persona, which is almost impossible now with no advertising, no budget to do creative things. But still I don't have any money. So I have to do all of this. Everything I've done is free shit. That's all. Free shit. Free shit with free shipping. I can't afford the next day shipping, so I just got to go with the free shipping for now. It'll come in like 7 or 8 days. Probably 14 days if it's coming from China. It probably is coming from China because, I am China shine still. So we got to shine better than China right now because right now they shitting on us. Our innovation ain't doing too much for us. Told you, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Grown man worry about robots and little ones think about roadblocks. I'm wondering if I should learn Mandarin because I'm the man around this part of the world. Do what? I'm the man around the entire world. Man around this part of the world. I'm the man when you around your girl. Yeah, man, that verse was pretty good. I'm wondering if I should learn Mandarin because I'm the man around this part of the world. See, what most people don't know is that they speak Mandarin in China. See, most people probably think they speak Chinese in China, right? But they don't know that they actually speak Mandarin. So I'm the man around this part of the world. And from that perspective, it is still impressive, everything that I have done, considering I've had no backing emotionally, financially, from anyone. Everything that I've created has just been pure will, pure joy from doing it. And you can say, well, you're supposed to amass your own following. But what I did, I tried to avoid that completely by using already established music artists' fan bases to pretty much get leverage on my songs. I just want to live freedom. I want to have freedom and enjoy life's simplicities without having to struggle and think about all of the shit that I am unable to do because money is a preventer. Yeah, you sound like the rest of us, nigga. Broke. Hey, watch your own pockets, nigga. Don't watch mine. Your pockets are so empty. You're not even wearing shorts with pockets. You're wearing shorts with no pockets. It's 30 degrees outside, nigga. Put some pants on. You sound like a white person wearing shorts when it's 30 degrees out. Talking about your legs don't get cold. Okay, nigga. Don't come to me when you got frostbite. But another reason why I've been down is my fucking doctors are changing my medications up too fucking much. Mainly, they took me off Ambien. Oh, here he goes, bitching about his Ambien again. And why they took me off of it is fucking stupid. I tested for marijuana in my system when you go to do your prescription monitoring. You have to piss in a cup and do whatever. And this wasn't even a large amount of marijuana or THC that I had in my system. It was literally from probably 2 bong rips. When I was with a shawty on the weekend, she had some weed and I was like, yeah, I'll chief with you. Hit the bong 2 times. And then like 2 weeks later, went for this prescription monitoring and they took me off of it. And it's stupid because, first of all, weed is legal in Virginia. So it didn't make sense to me. Plus, like, I never knew that I couldn't smoke when I had the prescription. So they recommend me to go to a psychiatrist and get my meds reevaluated. But this psychiatrist, like, literally was a bitch. He pretty much made it seem like I was a junkie for real when it comes to smoking, when I really rarely ever smoke. So I'm literally cussing out this motherfucker too. Like I'm literally like, man, you a bitch. Fuck you, dude. Because this is like he's a relatively new psychiatrist. So he's just trying to make it seem like big and bad, you know? I'm like, nigga, you're a new psychiatrist. You're hitting on your interns. Your office is a mess. Put me on my meds or I'm going to tell your superior. Yeah, so I'm in the market for a new psychiatrist now. So if you know anyone who will just listen to me, not talk back, and just put me on the meds I want, tell them to holler at me. I ain't really cuss them out like that, but I was definitely about to, for real. Until we decided to part ways. I told the nigga, like, I don't enjoy talking with you. So I'm gonna get a new psychiatrist. And if you are someone who's on Ambien and you're doing your prescription monitoring, you're not allowed to have marijuana. So make sure you don't have any in your system when you go to take your test, or they will take you off of it, because they do look for reasons to take you off of it, because it is a controlled substance and it's practically impossible to get back on it. But why Ambien is important for me, because it helps with my decision making. I mean, it was prescribed to me for insomnia, but really it didn't help with sleep at all. It helped more with anxiety and giving me a sense of carelessness, happiness is how I like to describe it. Like, I don't really care what I'm happy about, but I'm enjoying these things, laughing about these things, and able to socialize, most importantly. Because you probably see these songs that I've created and these podcasts, and you might think, oh, he's very extroverted. But in reality, I am the utmost introvert out there. So my psychiatrist puts me on Lunesta. Man, I haven't had so many dreams ever in my life since I've taken Lunesta. I tried telling this stupid ass psychiatrist this, and you know what he did? Hey, let's up the dosage on it. I wish they would just go ahead and legalize hard drugs like acid and mushrooms, psilocybin. And then maybe people wouldn't be so dependent on these drugs. Because Ambien is a real interesting drug, because it's often prescribed for sleep, but people who take it, if you get them in environments where they're not going to get in trouble for their honest opinion about the drug, they're doing things that they're afraid to do, or saying things they're afraid to say, like texting someone that you're afraid of their response about something, or in general, feeling lighter. And if a sleep drug makes you do that, makes you more social, more open, what does that say about the state of consciousness, of modern consciousness? That maybe it's not the drug creating a new personality, it's the drug probably removing one. Because we live in a time of constant surveillance, social media, brand management. You're practically doing PR on yourself 24/7. And it lowers your PR team. So when people are saying that I feel more like myself on Ambien, what they're really saying is my anxiety is louder than my personality. And that's not a sleep problem. That's a culture problem. For real. And if a pill can remove the feeling of how you will be perceived, then what would it take to have a life where you don't need this type of substance to be open? It will be a complete shift mentally for a lot of people. And those people, they're often in environments that don't allow that type of shift to happen for themselves. So it's practically impossible for them. I mean, there are a lot of mental things that you can do. But I mean, I know how people are. It's hard to really establish consistency because that's one of the biggest things that is missing with today's society and people. Consistency, being dependable. Because I'm just like a lot of you guys, man. When I was working at a lot of jobs, like I would work for like 2 or 3 weeks and I'm like, man, I'm out of here. And I wouldn't even tell nobody. I would just be like, I'm never coming back. Just delete the workplace's number, block it so they can never contact me. That's it. And that's not cool, but it's my anxiety not being able to face the pressure of being able to tell people like I'm so out of it today that I can't come in for a third time in 2 weeks. So I'm gonna end it there. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm WHOIZ on social media or WHOIZ_. Follow me, support me, do what you want, listen to my music, use my songs in some of your social media creations. That'll mean the most to me, honestly. And listen to other podcast episodes. There are funnier ones than this one. This one is funny and honest. So I hope you enjoyed me being vulnerable with you guys. I'm not going to showcase any new music on this one because I'm working on my next project, which probably will come out before another podcast episode. And it's going to be the best thing that I've ever released. So prepare yourselves. Everything has viral potential. That's how I work. So the only song I'm going to play on here is I'm going to play Lightning in My Queen since I talked about it at the beginning. Not the full song, just the beginning of it. Man, nobody gives a fuck about cars, dude. Or auto, whatever the fuck you call it. Well, I do. I made a song called Lightning in My Queen. Here, check it out.